Yo, what it do? You already know the vibes. So, NAGA got a lot of thoughts going on with him right now, yo. Like Chinese lines, you see them Chinese lines, you can tell I've been done dirty, right? And Chinese lines say depending on how they stretch, that tells you've been done wrong, like been done wrong in your life when you got them lines like that. See my eyes come all the way down to my cheek. Anyway. Anyway, I want to build on the value because I was about to say something else. That's why I paused like that. Like I was about to get into this value real quick, but it's like something shift my energy real quick. Anyway, let's have some topics. I spoke on it in my Patreon. I did it backwards. I should have did this first and then did the Patreon and been like, if you want the extended, go to Patreon. I should have did it like that, but you know what I mean? It is what it is. Well, at the end of the day, you know what I mean? I did like 43 minutes over on Patreon. You know what I'm saying? So explaining this and what explaining this and my concept on the pineal gland and what that does to people. Excuse me. So ultimately, first things first, let's get this out the way. We don't know what the hell we drinking. Can we stop drinking boats? And can we stop watching hopping questions go around in Australia? Because we got to get some things together. Yeah, I'm going to start being comedic about it because it's stupid. Like, water is a boat. So what are we drinking? And to understand that on the walls, they said the waves was newt. And before the word, it was newt. You know what I'm saying? So what are we gonna call water? And we can't call newts water. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like the lizard, right? The newt. So ultimately, someone of that quality in another language asked somebody else who knew in that area what was that lizard that was in the water, because newts are normally in the water or by the water. And when he pointed towards the water's direction, the person looked at them and said newt, because that was the symbol on the Egyptian wall for water. And then we end up naming a lizard. I'm just saying, yo, like it's so simple to like re-engineer the value. But people were stupid when they made stuff, and they stayed on it because they're arrogant. They didn't change it when they knew they made a mistake or even thought to change it. This is, you know what I'm saying, why not make idiocy my new world? It doesn't matter as long as I said it. That's like that type of concept, but that's not reality. Okay, so somebody needs to go do the science to that and get back to me. Get back to me. Email me. My links and information is always in the description. You can always hit me up. I need to know, what are we going to call water? Because water is a boat. And I'm tired of drinking boats. Now, secondly, I know a lot of you niggas had a rough life. We all had rough lives. We all grew up in the hood, in the ghetto. We all grew up in the streets. You know what I'm saying? I was born in Harlem. You know what I'm saying? I was raised down south. You know what I mean? So I had the best of both gutters. I had the best of both gutters. You know what I mean? But because lack thereof of a situation and other cultures not even understanding the value of that or what love is, they permeate an energy that they don't even have. So because they don't have it in the way they have viewed success or label what success is, we think if we excommunicate one of our characteristics given to us by the divine, we will gain a level of success. Thus, these energies caused us to cause more turmoil in our neighborhoods and our societies when we removed the love. We started removing the love, saying dumb-ish like, oh, don't love because love will get you killed. Well, who you dealing with? Because love ain't getting nobody killed. And if you're putting that out there as a term, there's something wrong with you, because you know love does not kill anyone. Love is healing. Love is the most powerful force in the universe, especially unconditional love. And when you can walk in unconditional love and move in that motion, you bring a level of civility to people that's unseen on a normal basis, because things don't bother you. You have unconditional love for the pretense, and that's just something to keep in mind. We thrive off love and compassion and comfort. I thrive off love, compassion, and comfort. All that chaos and that craziness. Oh, chaos, we need chaos. No, that is not true. You leave me by myself with some love, some compassion and comfort, all the necessities in the space, and for me to work, I'm gonna come out of there with everything. We're like, yo, how you went somewhere and you just came, cuz that's what it is. You know what I mean? And I don't have that in my life right now. You know what I'm saying? I need that so I can get back to being thriving. You know what I'm saying? I'm not thriving. I need to get back to being thriving. All right, what's the third thing? People are mostly afraid. That's why they test everything. But they don't want to be tested. People are mostly afraid. You're like so scared. You want to test everything. You want to sit back and have a dialogue about everything with other people. You wanna judge and place terminologies on people because of you believe the things you've done to someone is going to come back to you. Well, ultimately, that can happen with certain people. It depends. My grandfather raised me. Don't do evil for evil. You know what I'm saying? People gonna do stuff. It saves you energy, you know what I'm saying, when you don't put the extra energy out there to equal the value of what somebody else is trying to do to you. You know what I mean? And plus it saves you on having wrinkles. You know what I mean? Going out there trying to be extra old, like, am I about to do all that, man? I like to be laid back. I mean, I ain't no pushover and I ain't no sucker. You ain't gonna just play me, you know what I'm saying? But ultimately, you know what I'm saying, like I be paying attention. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, what the hell is going on when it's just supposed to be right? Like it ain't, you know what I mean? It's not rocket science. Most people had this issue in the world with themselves wanting to be in competition, whether if it's in your relationship, your family, or whatever aspect, you know what I'm saying? You don't have the civility of understanding true connection. And that's the reason why most things don't never really go together, because you have a jealous streak in different individuals who are cared for by certain people, and that jealous energy that they propagate is going to be protected by the people who care for them. You see what I'm saying? Because ultimately their care for that individual may outweigh the characteristic of the person they feel about. You know what I'm saying? And this is where people have this faulty understanding of doing right and wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately that energy can clash with someone who is just not of that energy, but they have a disagreement because one who has attitude issues just don't mesh with another individual or their characteristics. So ultimately, the means to succeed could be dampened. It's like, I'm gonna talk trash because I don't like you, or because you won't submit to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have this problem in the world. They do this. This is why they have different houses, all these different houses of fraternities, you know what I mean, to be the middle block in between who succeeds and who don't as far as some aspect. And that's weird, you know what I'm saying? Like, because we keep trying to get under the aspect of control, and ultimately when it started years ago, it was to be closer to the value of importance, because if you're rising, then ultimately you can pull people up. But it got to the point where those people who had that mentality on at least rising up the culture, they died off. And then whoever was left in that placement, or who had to grow or follow that, it wasn't a respect to help the people anymore. It was because I'm in this place. It was because I'm in this place. I'm chosen now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm better than these people because we have this living. It started separating the value through history. So if you stayed in that value through history, no matter what color you is, that's how you feel in your integrity. And if you ever got taken out of that lifestyle and taken to a lower understanding, you and those people are not the same. Y'all may look the same, but y'all don't think the same. You have to go learn that understanding. You have to go to the hood and learn how to be hood. You have to go to the hood and learn to pay. You be like, yo, y'all live like this. And then you go back to your house, you got AC and heat. you got all the food in your refrigerator. You know what I'm saying? Like everything work. You got both your parents. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all got money in the bank. You can do whatever you want. Like the biggest problem you may have is, you know, your girl cheated on you and your pop's tire went out or whatever or something, but y'all just not super rich. You don't have a mansion. You know what I'm saying? Like it might be the biggest problem. Like who at the gas pump longer than you? I don't know, something stupid. Like, you know what I'm saying? But ultimately, people are mostly afraid, and that's why they test everything, but don't want to be tested. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I keep going to this value is because that's how life got made into the situations where it is right now. Why we're stuck in the way we think about things right now. You know what I'm saying? Like for the most part, why IE laws and why people have a direction of beating down certain groups of people and all this is just because of that reason. You know what I'm saying? And once you can put that down and face your truth, then you won't have these problems. You know what I mean? But I ain't gonna hold you. You already know the vibes. NAGA.